What does it mean to you to be the artistic director of the National Center for the Performing Arts?
That's huge work to do, but I think this kind of responsibility, I should take it. So that's why I'm here. Otherwise, I stay in Europe or States.
Which part of all these musical careers has the biggest influence on you?
Every part is important for me because every part can change my life. This year, I realized one thing is most important for me. Maybe it will change my rest of life. I don't do anything for myself. I want to do something dedicated to the young generations.
Good to see you here. This is basically your base, right? You're
Yes.
the artistic director of NCPA.
Yes, and here's the rehearsal hall for the orchestra.
What does it mean to you to be the artistic director of the National Center for the Performing Arts, the venue of classical music in China?
That's for me, it means a lot. I feel much more the duty to do the things because and a lot of things to do. The planning for the orchestra season, planning for the opera, future, and to find the superstar or right cast for the new production operas, and control the level and how to make the logic work and between office and office because everybody is new here. So that means huge work to do. But I think this kind of responsibility, I should take it because that's why I'm here. Otherwise, I stay in Europe or States, just doing conducting. Everything is already done.
To be an artistic director, that means you can draw basically the blueprint for the NCPA in the future.
Yes.
Do you have that in your mind? I mean, where do you want the NCPA to be in the future?
It's very difficult to say, but NCPA already is a very important center in the world. So far, in 7 years, we have done already 50 productions as opera.
That's a lot.
It's really quite a lot.
But musically speaking, where is the orchestra, where is the NCPA compared to the rest of the world?
The orchestra is very young. The choir is very young because only 5 years old, and I have a great faith because the orchestra is only the average age is 30, the choir more or less the same, and
that's fairly young compared to.
Very young.
Okay.
Very young because compared to compared to Chinese orchestra, another Chinese orchestra, you see National Symphony Orchestra, National Philharmonic, and the Shanghai Symphony Orchestra. We are more or less the same levels, yeah. And they are already average is 40, 45, and another advantage that we have is that we're lucky because we're very busy. But the busy
schedule.
Yeah, for schedule. That's okay, good. Busy for schedule, so that means we're working normal program. I mean, opera concerts. That's we have a very good financial support from the the governments in the Beijing city, yeah, and then so we don't need to make commercial concerts. All Chinese orchestras they need to do commercial concerts to maintain their salary. So that means we can do always professional work. Commercial concerts sometimes it's not good for orchestra. It's some pieces not good to play. Some pieces is not good, interesting for the orchestra training, and very tired traveling concerts, and then they have the willing to make music is disappeared. In this case, we have great advantage, and in this case, after 10 years, what happened? So that's the difference.
Well, it seems NCPA has everything in place. You have the venue. You've also attracted all these musicians from around the world, including all these heavyweights, including Zubin Mehta. He was here to do the Aida. And why do you think there is the boom of the classical music market in China?
Economic. Arrive certain points, and also the people and the needs. you know, not entertainment. Okay, entertainment kind of thing is pop music.
Spiritual pursuit.
Spiritual pursuit. That's the most important things in that recent five years, or 10 years. Just a boom, just 40s, 50, facilities, is happening. That's very good. My parents and my professor Zheng Xiaoying, she told me, Jia, what lucky you are, lucky you are. That's we dreamed all the, Li Delun, Han Zhongjie, Zheng Xiaoying,
all the pioneers,
we dreamed have a theater like this. But in our life, never happens, but happened to you. So this is really, really good things. Also for the musicians, for the audience.
The economy is there, all these elements are in place, and that is why this is happening. And not only that, I guess, the other reason probably would be there's so many established Chinese classical musicians, not only in China, you can basically see Chinese musicians anywhere now, in New York, in Berlin, in London.
Yeah.
And you've also made a gesture of inviting them back to have a concert, all these overseas Chinese musicians.
Yeah.
Why this idea?
The idea, I had almost 10 years ago,
You were an overseas artist yourself.
As well,
a
yeah.
long time ago,
And now, we caught all the Chinese player who are in the top orchestras in the world. They are the leaders, at least principal or co-principal. So in 100% together, make the orchestra level just incredible. For us, also very important education for the audience, not only quantity, also quality. It's very important. If we are as good
as the Western musicians,
as communications, no problem. Just the same things. If from or South America or South America or Africa, some country they playing Peking opera, they sing as good as us. That's with with NCP Orchestra last year, we did a North America tour, and the tour in New York and in Washington, we had a great success.
Music is more powerful in that case.
Of course. That's a soft power, so important.
You studied in Beijing in the Central Conservatory of Music. You also went to Germany. You even quit your postgraduate education when you were young to study in Germany. And after that, you went to the competitions, you won the titles, and then you've also worked as a professional musician in the West. So which part of all these musical careers has the biggest influence on you as who you are today?
Every part is important for me because every part can change my life. Not with my parents.
You wouldn't actually choose the musical journey.
Right? If I don't move to Beijing, I don't into conservatoire. I couldn't met my professor Zheng Xiaoying. If I don't choose leaving China for Germany, traveling 7 days by train. And,
by train at the time.
And because we are the poor students, it's quite cheap, for sleeping, so I think it's 7 days. It's about, 500 yuan, something like this.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 7 days. And you're through all the Mongolia, Baika, and
Russia.
Moscow in 5 days. And then we changed the station because, that was Cold War.
That was in the 80s.
89. Because Cold War, the railway, the mission is different. You have to change another station from Moscow over Warsaw, East Berlin, East Germany, East Berlin, then West Berlin.
Well, I mean, it was a long journey, but did you have in your mind where you were heading?
My mind was that because I did interest, music because I was good at mathematics in early middle schools, and German composers, for example Brahms, Bach, their music so easily, passion music. But if you calculate, it's the way composition, just like a music, mathematics, exactly the same. Incredible. So, and that German music just attracted me, lots. And Germany is also very important for the symphonic repertoire. For you have of course, if we say German music is Austrian German together. Yeah, that means German language speak. Yeah. Mozart, Bach, Beethoven, Bruckner, Brahms, Schumann, Mendelssohn, Bruckner, everybody is there, yeah? So I think the German is a very important place. And the German orchestra, the top orchestra in the world, it's major from Germany. And then I saw, at the news that you have
The competition.
And I asked for competition, but I didn't. I was not accepted because nobody knew me, who you are, And then I was, the standby. And just 6 days before the competition, I got the competition. And after competition, somebody told me you are lucky because your standby is 20 candidates were standby. You were the last. So that means, at least 20, yeah? 19 standby plus one official getaway. Then I got in.
And you won the competition.
I won the competition, yeah.
So do you believe it's all destiny then?
Yes, I believe destiny, But the destiny is also happens. That's when you are ready. If you are not ready, everything, all the chance, opportunity happens to you, you can catch it. And also, that competition also changed my life. Because the president of the jury, he was, the president of the Florence Opera House. And he told me that, okay, 2 years later, I would change to another opera house as president. Would you like to come?
How old were you at the time?
24.
24, and you were invited by that president to be a conductor of a Florence opera orchestra.
Yeah, but he told me in 2 years, after 2 years. So I got my first job, Italian opera house at Trieste, Giuseppe Verdi Opera House, when I was 26.
But the thing, it's Florence. That's like the birthplace of Western opera.
Yes.
How did it feel? I mean, it's like a Western, Italian coming to Beijing, say, to be the conductor, to be the artistic director of Peking Opera House in Beijing.
For me, a little bit shocked. It's not shocked. It's, of course, I'm happy, but it's also shocked because I didn't speak Italian. But I was so confident. That's because in Italy I can learn and make a lot of things happen. Because you see Florence. The first time I was in Florence, it's incredible because Florence is a tourist city. It's huge. I hate if it's crowded, But I do like in summertime, morning 5-6 o'clock, already daytime lights, but nobody in the street. The total silence. I can say, okay, 500 years ago, Dante was here.
Michelangelo.
Michelangelo's here. Boccaccio's here. Wow.
It's a very artistic city.
Incredible, incredible. You know, you see Paris is fantastic. Everything is great. You know, all the structure, everything is in French. They are very good. You know, French people, they are so good to selling their story and everything. Yeah, they are great talent. But after Paris, and you two come to Florence, you see Paris is quite new, too new for me. Florence, you see. But then Florence, you go to Rome, you see, wow, Rome, from 2,000 years ago to 100 years ago, Mussolini time, everything's there. So that's, Italy is incredible. For me, it's Germany, Italy, the two countries, for me, influence lots.
But if you come back to your Florence story, I mean, this is such an artistic city with such a long history of art. I mean, all these musicians in the orchestra, they must be very proud of their traditions, and then all of a sudden they have a conductor from a country called China, far, far away.
Yeah.
I mean, was it difficult for you to convince them musically?
It's not, because they are, in Florence, in Trieste, I was two positions, Trieste Opera House, Florence Orchestra, and it's not difficult for me because, they are very kind to me, and then they're friends, they're musicians, musician, I mean, orchestra and conductor is opposite way, yeah? Natural rivals. Why you stand there, say everything we have to do, Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Only one thing is the music. If your music, the way, convince them, no problem. I mean, as a music, as talent, as a tradition, and as fantasy, imagination, and also your talent, everything. So wow, good. That's good. That's also, of course, for conductor, 26 years, maybe. The best time is 45 to 65. This 20 years is best time for the conductor. So that was so good, very good. And also I learned very quickly for the Italian as language, as a repertoire, or the opera repertoire. So far I have over 60 opera repertoires.
So what is the, say, biggest gain out of your experience, your stay in Europe, either in Germany or in Italy?
Two things, because in Germany, Italy, I learned a lot of, and I understand. For example, German music and Italian opera, for me, just like in my blood. Now it's no question of style, which style. Because I went to the Alpine mountain to listen all the people singing. Local people, village people, mountain village people, singing choir, how to play their instruments. I went to Italy, in Napoli, and to Florence, everything to understand Rossini tradition, Pesaro. How's Italian opera come from, and what kind of style, bel canto style, and Verdi style, and all realism, Puccini, Giordano style, and even so that means for me a lot. And also I like history and culture. I read a lot of books about Roman time, German times, enrich myself. Incredible. I like it very much. Another thing is to gain simple, fresh heart. Never changed. There's a lot of people, friends, okay, oh, my Lyu Jia, I never seen you 20 years, you never changed. Of course, everybody changed, age changed. But the spirit in the heart never changed. That's the most important thing.
On your musical journey, you've also mentioned some very important figures who might changed your life. You mentioned your father. You mentioned Professor Zheng Xiaoying. I mean, what is the influence from your father first?
Oh, my father, because he's a conductor, he wanted me to be a conductor.
So basically, he made that decision. My son is going to be a conductor in the future.
Yeah. This is a Chinese tradition. The young son never make their destiny by themselves. Of course, I was very young, only 10 years.
Were you rebellious at the time?
No. I was good kid.
To be a good son, yeah.
Good son, good son. My father has had, I have a very good ear, absolute pitch. From young, it's 10 years, so it's it's very rare to open, without music education, already absolute pitch, and can listen every notes. So that, can't waste this talent. You have to study. So of course, the conductor is very, but it's still the technique, how to move your arm and hands. This is okay. You can train. I was trained by my father, so that was good, because a lot of conductors, maybe they hadn't good training for basic technique. So a lot of problems with arm from this, but so far never problem.
What is the most important lesson that your father told you to be a conductor, to be a good conductor?
My father, he said discipline, also discipline. Because my father taught me German discipline is your rule. That's also maybe.
That's why you went to Germany.
I went to Germany, because my father, every day, 8 class, 8:30, 9:45. Everything is right down.
You followed to your father's instructions, word to word.
Yeah. It's also physical training. I was running. When I was 20 years, I did twice marathon. Now become fashion in China. Everybody's running marathon, but okay, you are too late. 30 years ago, I did it.
And have you ever conducted for your father?
Yes, few times. Most impressed for me is my father 2-3 years ago got cancer. And after his cancer and after our operation, he was so weak. But that was, the National Army Band, 军乐团, has, 80 years or 60 years anniversary. And he very difficult, moved to stage, conducts 2 pieces. And that day is his birthday. And I did birthday song with orchestra to him. It's a surprise.
He didn't realize that. He didn't.
No, he didn't know before. Yeah,
it was a very sweet story. I mean, 2-generation conductors, and he telling you all these lessons, and you conducting actually personally for him to celebrate his birthday.
Yeah.
What did you think at the time on stage?
Very emotional, because he just got operation. It's also big operation. Yeah. And the cancer is not early. It's or middle late, but did very well. So, but still very weak. Just a week or 2 weeks after his operation. So that is a huge thing for him, for me as well. Yeah.
Is that also what you're going to pass on to your own kids?
I don't think so, because now it changed, because the world changed a lot. I let them decide themselves for future. I can give you advice.
Right.
The music is things, but you need to love it, because it's difficult. I don't want to, because I'm lucky, and my father he is lucky, because under force. Okay, it's maybe too heavy to say that I have to practice. I had to practice everything, but fortunately, I fell in love with music. But if opposite way, another story, then different.
It will be a tragedy then.
Tragedy, because you're waste of time. You wasted a lot of things. You practice all the energy. The most things you lost your passion, the love. That's the most important thing. Because even one day, one young guy practiced 4 or 5 hours, as piano or the violin or something else. In 20 years, how many languages you can learn? Yeah? How many books? But
Right.
maybe as music, if you don't like music, if you have no talent, maybe this training 20 years, after 20 years, you got it. Nothing.
It's a waste of time and energy.
Yes.
What about Professor Zheng Xiaoying? What is her influence to you?
And most important from her, is so strong personality and willing to do. Never give up. Never give up. He's always doing try her best. She told me that, Jia, if you want to be as a conductor, you have a very strong nerve and a very strong physique. Which I was okay, no problem, yeah. But you have to continue work very hard. And he pressed me. Normally, one symphony has 4 movements, you know. We have 1-2 lessons each week. The one lesson was 1 movement. Everything is memory. Everything is memory. Please don't look at score. Memory, okay? No problem. Then, 2 movements, 1 lesson, yeah? And then 3 until the whole symphony. So he pressed me. It's I think she was so clever. She's so smart because, you know, now I realize, after so many years, you know, just like we learn Chinese traditional, you know, 四书五经, and all the things, Lao Tzu, Zhuangzi, you know, we remember everything we didn't understand it at all. The same things happens. As, you know, it's bring you ability to press all the informations in 1 hour to your brain. I don't care if you understand, don't understand, but it's already stamped in your brain or somewhere else in your body. And then one day,
It'll come out.
it'll come out. And also, she was, you know, very good. You know, sometimes lessons in her room, her flat, and then she cooked a lot of things for
A mother figure.
the mother figure because
Yeah.
we you know at that age, you know, I was very thin, so 67 kilos, you know.
Yeah. Ran too much marathons at the time.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for sharing your stories and
It's my
your
pleasure.
insights.
My pleasure.
Thank you very much.